Hello, Geminis, and welcome back to my channel. This will be a general message using the dominoes for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Gemini Rising. All right, I hope you all are doing well now that we are approaching the upcoming season of spring. I hope you're just excited as I am. All right, before we get started with our general domino reading on what's to come, over the next few weeks and or months, I want you to take the opportunity to like and subscribe to my channel so that you will not miss the opportunity to get a general message from me. All right. Now, while you're here, take what resonates in the message and send the rest to the refuse pile. All right, Geminis, let's begin. As you can see, and as I've already mentioned, I pulled 4 dominoes already out of this pile behind it so that we will have a reading, of course. All right. So I'm going to go through each one and give you what I was feeling as I was pulling them from the pile, and then we'll go back and decipher the numbers on the opposite side of the dominoes. Okay. Now, for your first domino, it's important to remember that domino number one is strictly talking about you or referring to you or your journey. Okay. So the first thing that came out here for this domino was that some of you may experience some loads of pressure within your workplace or business, okay? So there may be a heightened increase of work or need or you needing to be there in terms of your workplace or business, okay? This can also pertain to those of you who go to school, all right? Now, when being challenged, Geminis, you are advised to stand your ground respectfully. Okay. Emphasis on the word respectfully. So do not add a knowledgeable insult to injury. Now, what this means is, Geminis, is that you don't need to use your knowledge and or wisdom or educational level as a sword to cut someone who has more time than you at the place of work. Like if they're your senior or something, don't be disrespectful. Now, I know that sounds crazy because I just said stand your ground before that. So just know you need not to take things too far at the workplace. Um, I got an example here for you, Geminis. Let me get it. So it's a piece of advice here is to never outshine the master. Okay. And it's the first chapter in this book that I want to show you here. All right. The 48 Laws of Power is the very first chapter in this book. Okay. So pick this up and read it. Save yourself another seat in corporate America or at your place of work. Okay, Geminis, because we need another seat there like tomorrow and the next day after, right? Now, um, the second domino here, what I was feeling is twos are specifically referring to our partnerships, connections, relationships, and it could be relationships that has been business relationships. You have a relationship with your professor if you go to school, the person that bags your groceries, who you bank with, you have a relationship. So this is about partnerships, connections, relationships, those things or persons or entities that are close to you. Okay. Now, in terms of relationships, Gemini, some of you may endure a separation or distance between you and your lover. Whew. Now, this could come about due to a lack of free time, like you lacking time to spend with him or her, and maybe an increase of time needed to be at work, or maybe there could be some small misunderstandings. Now, for most of you, this piece of pain could last about 3 to 6 months. Okay, now that's gonna put us all the way up to the fall if we're stretching it far out. 3 months from now, that's what put us at June. So 3 to 6 months, Gemini. Okay. And this is partly due or partly depending rather on your willingness to curb your attitude and or compromise. So you can ultimately cut down this time frame, avoid this time or feeling of pain if we change our attitude, like manifesting something different here. Okay. So try to be understanding, especially if your partner could sometimes be busy due to their own life demands or any loved one for that matter. So this is speaking of those of you who have a partner. Try to be a little more understanding to know that he or she may have something going on as well. I feel like there could be a little snappiness and anger that could arise due to our work schedules or overload in some kind of work or something like that. You're advised to mind your bank account. Avoid overspending, especially on things that do not serve you health wise, Geminis. Now, that means don't be buying a whole bunch of junk food and things of that nature and hoping that, things will get better with your finances. That is not what we do. Okay? So avoid issues like that with our bank accounts. Okay? Eliminate attitude over reasons unknown. So this means to not assume so much. Now, you find yourself pondering over a certain situation or issue, whatever have you, then you need to address it. So if you need to know something for your sanity, Geminis, just ask. Ask politely, but ask. If you need clarity on something, just ask, okay? Now, for domino number 3 here, this is talking about our line of expansion. And one is, it's going like this. 1 plus your 2 usually comes your outcome or result here, domino number 3. Now, here with this domino, what I was feeling is much growth is to be had for most of you in the area of business, work, career, job, school. I put all of those together in that same pile. Again, number 3 domino, if I didn't mention it, is going to be focused on our increases, expansions, growth here. Okay. Now, again, much growth is to be had for most of you in the area of business, work, career, job, school. And this could be from month 3 to 7. So that's March, April, May, June, and July. You are advised to soak up all you can knowledge wise, Gemini. So everything you could possibly learn could very well be applied somewhere in your personal life. Soak it up. For some, you may enter a position to train. And if so, remember when you were on the receiving end of being trained, okay? Express empathy for those that may have a hard time balancing life in general. This is especially important if you find yourself going through some life changes as well during this time. If you can do nothing else, Geminis, offer to help the person instead of harm. Okay. Now, Geminis, I want you to avoid the temptation to fornicate with anyone related to what you do for work, like at your workplace, your job, school, whatever have you. Okay. Avoid the temptation to fornicate. And also, Geminis, fraternizing is a no-no as well. All right. So take that off your radar if you've been thinking it, contemplating it, want to, dip your finger in and see what it be like. That's a no-no. Okay. Number 4, this is talking about your stability, whether it's stability of the mind, your finances here. Your stability determines your next move. So if your stability is off, then we're going to be kind of stuck, blocked, stalling for a little bit. Now, your stability is at risk here, Gemini. You need to pay attention to your financial affairs. You are, if not already, becoming lazy with balancing things within the home that affect finances, or you're lazy with balancing the finances which affect the home. They hold hands here. Now, bottom line, these 2 areas hold hands over the next 3 to 4 months. Any setbacks in the home will come likely due to affairs, misbehaving offspring, neglecting pets, or neglecting our wifely, husbandly, and or parental duties. Ooh, Now, this affects your mental health, Gemini. You need to ask for help when you need it and make an attempt to solve what you cannot at first figure out. Do some research. I can't stress that enough. Put some parentheses around that or quotation marks, whatever we need to do. Do some research here. Lastly, you may end up losing a friend or two in months 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? That's March through July. You may end up losing a few friends. Okay? Now, let's go back through and decipher or break down the dominoes here. Our first one, we have a 6 and a 5. 6 can be talking about luck or a relationship, and then there's challenges and changes. Here, I feel like this is a bit of both luck and relationship. Now, when we were on this one, I specifically said something about your work. Very, it was first thing that fell out here. So your situation at work could change. Like there's some success that is to be had at your place of work or business or how you make your money. Also, for those of you who are currently in school, okay? Now, this doesn't come without some changes and or challenges of where we got the 5 from. The key to having this success, Geminis, is to not have a pocket full of sarcastic remarks or smart aleck undertones to your verbiage when speaking. It seems like if you do this, you'll end up killing relationships if you arm yourself this way. So be careful of doing that. Now, keeping this part of you in check will allow you to go far and advance some more inside the workplace, school, job, wherever this applies, okay? Now, if you remember domino number 2, what I said in terms of relationships, some of you may endure that separation here. Might be a little bit of pain, 3 to 6 months. All right, now here we are. We got a 6 and a 0. Again, 6 can talk about luck. I also use 6s as my relationship number. Then we have a 0. I look at 0 as the rock bottom. Now let me explain. I always use like a New York City skyscraper as an image to focus on. Because think about when you go in one of those things, you park in the garages under the building. So if you're trying to apply for a job that you have no idea what's going on in that building, you're in the garage. It's dark down there. A couple of pieces of lighting as you start walking towards the elevator. So then you get in the elevator, and then maybe the next floor is that of the what is that? The mail room. So you in a musty mail room that's on level 1. And then level 2 would be where all the common folk come in. Like if you was taking a taxi or something to that building, you coming in through those turnstile doors into the main lobby. Well, if you're on level 2, you're coming up through the elevator. You're coming up there too to the main lobby, main area where everybody's congregating, getting their coffee, maybe some baked goods or something, checking in at this receptionist desk to see what floor you need to go on, whatever. Okay, but here we are at 0. Now, I picked up here relationships mostly. So whether work relationships, love relationships, or any type of relationship for that matter, it could go downhill over the next 3 to 4 months. That's where we get this 0 from, like rock bottom here. All right. So some of these types of relationships may not offer an opportunity to be resuscitated. Okay. Now, Gemini, you need to mind your tongue these next 3 to 4 months. Can't stress that enough. If you are truly done with any type of relationship, just say that and move on. You cannot play both sides of anything here. Either work out your issues in work relationship, love relationship, career, school relationship, whatever, etc., and heal, or throw in the towel and get a new career, lover, job, go to a different school, trade, something. I don't know. Just cut your ties if that's what you're trying to do. Okay. Now for our domino number 3, we talked about expansion, or I said 3, the third one will represent expansion. You have the 0 out front here. Okay. And then you have a 5. Remember what I said about soaking up all you can knowledge wise here. A lot of growth to be had months 3 through 7. That's March, April, May, June, and July. Express empathy for others. Avoid that temptation about fornicating and fraternizing. Okay. So here, dominoes, Geminis, goodness, scattered energies is what I pick up here in months 3, 4, 5. That's March right now, April and May. So you need to try to find balance yourself during these months. It seems like you'll be here, there, and everywhere mentally and emotionally. Okay. You need to be careful not to snap at your loved ones. And the energy to come is not your usual. The energy, what I'm saying is the energy from these snapping sessions that you may give off is not your usual. Like maybe someone will forgive you and like, okay, I know she's stressed, or I know he's stressed, or they're stressed. No, 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 no. This energy feels a little different. So this time someone could actually walk away with no hopes on coming back. So you need to be careful. Remember what I said in the previous domino that, you know, a relationship may not get the opportunity to be resuscitated. All right. So be careful here if you don't want that relationship to be over, because here, this is rock bottom. We got challenges and changes here. And as when going through it, I told you what those challenges and changes would be. It's a lot of growth going on at your workplace, a lot of responsibility here. I mean, when you're on edge and overwhelmed, you got to learn this and learn that and trying to keep pace, deadlines and such. Whatever applies to your job is going to provide some challenges and changes somewhere in some other area, if not the same area that we're speaking of. Okay. Now, domino number 4 here. Ooh, goodness gracious. Geminis. All right. Okay. So we here. 2 5s now. That's challenges and changes. Remember what I said before we got to the point where we started flipping them over. I said pay attention to your financial affairs. You might be becoming lazy in balancing the home and or your finances. I felt like there will be some setbacks in the home that can come due to affairs, child misbehaving, neglecting your spousal or boyfriend girlfriend duties. Are there duties for that? Okay, parental duties, etc., etc. Now, challenges and changes, Geminis, they can be in the home and or work or both, as we've already said. And the change or challenge can stand to last for a period of 3 to 5 months from now. Now, Geminis, you could be fighting battles at home or battles related to the love life, or well, it doesn't have to be an intimate relationship in terms of sexual, because you do that with your significant other. It can be with a family member here as well. You could be fighting a battle with, if you love them, then you might be having a battle with them. Now, in terms of work, you could be fighting temptation or the urge to let off like a loose cannon. It means your mouth is going a mile a minute. Okay, that means with your word choice, and it's just ripping a whole new one for the person that it's going for. Be respectful and courteous in all that you do here, Geminis. We know that you don't do any butt kissing, but please try to be respectful and courteous in all that you do in these upcoming 3 to 5 months, especially in that time frame. Okay, Geminis, that is your reading. I know you're probably saying, what kind of reading is this? Like, she say nothing good. I mean, I couldn't help myself. I just say what comes, what I see. I'm sorry, Geminis. All right, but hey, you did get some good news. There's gonna be some growth in here. I feel like above all else, you're growing in one of your areas, and you need to be growing in that area. It might be presenting an opportunity for advancement or pay raise later on in this year. So growth here is a good thing. And anytime that you're growing, there may be some things that fall off as you're elevating. Those things also might be the reason why you are elevating, because they fell off. Some things can't go with you in your next season, your season of growing, not stagnation. You know, sometimes you get a season where you just sit for a minute. We gotta sit here and learn this some more. And then we can move on to something else. All right, Geminis, this is your general reading using the dominoes. If you would like a one-on-one with me, please go and check me out at aminutewithmelody.com. Go on there, look at the services. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to send me an email. I thank you again for joining me here for your domino reading. And it is goodbye for now. Have a good one, Gemini. See you next time.